achieve its place on the top table of the world, technology needs to be put to use. And one of the main pillars of his vision was Digital India. That fired up all the entrepreneurs who are connected with telecom and digital services. That ushered in the 4G revolution in this country within 2 years of his assumption of office. That brought in smartphones in the hands of not just rich urban Indians, but in the poorer Indians in the most rural and hinterlands of India. That, as our minister rightly said, ushered in a revolution of digital broadband connectivity that connected them to wonderful services that both private sector and indeed the government and public sector had to offer. That spawned a number of startups in this country, turning many of them into unicorns and bringing in billions of dollars from the world. That stage was set to be used for Prime Minister's second term in 2019, when he came in and recognized that India is highly dependent on imports of telecom equipment and digital equipment. India at that time was importing nearly $500 billion worth of equipment from all over the world, including from our neighboring country. He asked Indian entrepreneurs and world corporations to come and set up manufacturing bases in India. And I have mentioned this before here, India had lost the manufacturing race in the previous 20, 30 years to China and other parts of the world. That call to action has resulted in today India becoming a major manufacturing hub where the animal spirits of Indian entrepreneurs and the global corporations are unleashed by the support of a massive productivity-linked incentive program, the PLI, as well as ushering in the most complicated, complex process which no other country has really initiated in a manner that India has, of trusted sources and trusted products. Today, every element in this country that is coming goes through the detailed eye of National Security Council on Telecom. Every source, every product, every element of India's network that connects our nation passes through that rigorous test of trusted networks and trusted products. This is seminal development which other countries need to follow very quickly. Before the second term expired, he recognized that India may be left behind and become a follower once again in 5G. He asked Department of Telecom and the Indian operators to gear up and launch 5G at the fastest pace possible. And I'm glad to report, and I'm sure most of you in this room are connected to a 5G network, India not only launched the fastest 5G networks in the country, not just in urban areas, but including all the villages and rural areas, and more network rollouts are happening as we speak every day, every month. And within a matter of next 12 to 18 months, again, each and every part of the country will be connected through a very powerful 5G network. That was, to my mind, the seminal contribution of the second term of Honorable Prime Minister Modi. But as we know, he never rests on his laurels. You achieve something, he will give you a bigger task to do. India has now dialed up its ambitions to be a semiconductor destination as well. A number of initiatives by the government of India have been taken to now start the process of manufacturing semiconductors in this country. Alliances globally are being built. India and US have recently signed a critical technology partnership. India has gone ahead and signed partnerships with France, with UK, with Japan, and many other leading countries, including Taiwan, to come and set up shops here in semiconductor. The other big part of the third term is going to be opening up of space industry for the private sector. That, to my mind, is again one of the huge developments that India is seeing. Friends who are here from the world, from mobile industry, recognize that it's almost impossible for terrestrial services to cover every square inch of any country, or our oceans, or our skies. In the past, just like 2G, we had the VSATs, which were connecting on a very slow 2G type of dial-up speeds some of the critical areas. With the launch of LEO networks, the low Earth orbit networks, now we have the possibility of connecting 4G speeds and massive capacities in the hands of those who have been left behind. India has 95% of population covered, but they live in 75% of the places. There are 5% of people who are in those remote areas, in mountains, in forests, in deep remote rural areas, where USO is trying to catch up and provide the services. And I want to assure the Prime Minister that with the launch of SATCOM services in this country, anybody, anywhere in the country, however remote or in difficult conditions they may be, will be able to connect on a fast-speed network to the internet using voice, data, videos, whatever is required, as is done on a 4G, 5G network. Doreen is here. ITU assigns the spectrum and orbital slots globally, and that job will keep on happening. However, there is now a debate going on across the world, and that is where I would like to draw the attention of the Honorable Prime Minister, that intertemporal choices will have to be made as to how satellite, which is moving fast in technologies, need to coexist with terrestrial networks. My message is very simple. Telecom companies around the globe have done a seminal work in connecting the world. They will take the satellite services into the remotest parts of their nations through the USO program and directly through themselves. And those satellite companies who have ambitions to come into urban areas serving elite retail customers just need to take the telecom licenses like everybody else, be bound with the same conditions. They need to buy the spectrum as the telecom companies buy. They need to pay the license fee as the telecom companies do, and also secure their networks like telecom companies do. This is a simple solution which can be done on a global scale, and India can again show the way in this particular regard. Finally, Honorable Prime Minister, I'd like to assure you that Airtel has been at the forefront of India's telecom revolution. It has stood the test of time. It has seen the journey right from the 2G and dial-up modems to where we are in India today, creating a digital revolution that the world is seeing. And Bharti Airtel will be a very responsible company. While building these fanciful networks, it'll be responsible towards its customers, it'll be responsible towards its stakeholders, and I'm glad that Airtel took the initiative of launching India's first anti-spam network, blocking in billions of calls coming from scamsters, billions of messages coming from fraudsters to secure the lives of our customers. We are now working with the industry to ensure, and with the Department of Telecom, that our people, when they're using these networks and enjoying all those services, are safe and secure. Honorable Prime Minister, Bharti Airtel will play its role in your vision of building a very powerful India. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mitra. May I now invite the chairman of the Aditya Birla Group, Shri Kumar Mangalam Birla, to please say a few words.
Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Minister of Communication Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia, Honorable Minister of State for Communication Dr. Chandrasekhar, Chairman DCC and Secretary DOT Dr. Neeraj Mittal, my colleagues from the industry, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be here as we mark the inauguration of the 8th India Mobile Congress and reflect on the remarkable progress made by the telecom sector in delivering connectivity and the benefits of digital transformation to Indian citizens. At the heart of this progress, as we know, lies the steadfast progress support of our government. Our government has consistently recognized the importance of digital connectivity and has introduced several reforms over the years to drive us towards an even more connected, empowered, and inclusive digital nation. Pradhan Mantri ji, इस डिजिटल परिवर्तन की नींव आपकी विजन ने आधारित की है. What has been remarkable in this journey is the government's continued thrust on expanding digital infrastructure and accelerating digital adoption for people and businesses equally. As a result, the digital transformation is now moving beyond just the large businesses to our MSMEs, enabling them to break traditional barriers and enter new markets. A few years ago, our Prime Minister had articulated that MSME means maximum support to micro, small, and medium enterprises. We at VI2 are committed to providing maximum support by promoting digital transformation to India's small businesses. With a focus on technologies like 5G, IoT, AI, and cloud services, the VI Business Ready for Next program is helping MSMEs assess their digital readiness, identify areas for improvement, and adopt necessary digital solutions to become future-ready corporations. Since its launch in June 2022, over 1.6 lakh MSMEs have used the VI platform. And through the power of our telecom platforms, I believe that we can create a thriving digital ecosystem that empowers our MSMEs to drive India's economic growth. Robust connectivity is also transforming how we live and how we work, as demonstrated by solutions showcased by VI at IMC this year. High-speed networks are making telemedicine possible, for example, in remote locations, allowing medical professionals to diagnose and treat patients virtually and bridging the gap between urban and rural healthcare. Just last year, India achieved the remarkable feat of 10 crore teleconsultations, and I believe that this is a matter of great pride for every Indian. Real-time high-speed connectivity will also enable safety and improved efficiencies in critical industries for sectors like mining, construction, and industrial automation. Unimaginable some years ago, it is remarkable how far we have come in connecting people, machines, and devices with such efficiency. Today, we are building a future where virtual and augmented reality immersive experiences will become increasingly integrated into our daily lives. One of the most pressing issues being addressed by the government, regulator, and industry in the past year is spam control and fraud protection. As networks have grown, we have the potential risk to the public, especially from phishing schemes, fraudulent calls, and spam messages. These undermine public confidence in communication systems and also put people's personal and financial security at risk. In collaboration with the government and regulatory bodies, VI is making significant strides in combating this menace. Vodafone Idea is committed to bringing new and innovative solutions that will fundamentally address spam and fraud at the very core. Public awareness campaigns, too, are helping to educate users about how to identify and avoid spams. This year has also been an important one for Vodafone Idea, as the company has taken critical steps in its own transformation journey. The company's 18,000 crore FPO, marking the largest of its kind in India, was met with overwhelming enthusiasm. It was oversubscribed 7 times overall and an astonishing 19 times amongst institutional investors. The surge in demand culminated in a total bid for approximately 93,500 crores across various investor categories. This response was an emphatic endorsement of the potential of the Indian telecom sector. To me, it signaled the faith that investors have in our Prime Minister's bold vision of a digital India. The fundraise has enabled the company to kickstart again its capex cycle. Vodafone Idea has already announced the next phase of capex detail worth $3.6 billion with 3 global partners Nokia, Ericsson, and Samsung. These are all key steps that place VI on a more secure footing and ensure that the company remains dynamic and competitive. With the continued support of the government, I'm confident that we will do our part to realize the Prime Minister's Digital India destiny. I am a firm believer in the transformative power of India's telecom sector, and I see it as a bridge to a more connected, empowered, and prosperous India. Thank you once again to the government, to our partners, and the entire telecom community for making the past year truly an exceptional one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Birla. May I now invite the Secretary General ITU, Ms. Doreen Bogdan-Martin, to please address the WTSA 2024.
Namaste, India. Namaste, Modi ji. Namaste, Minister Scindia, Minister Chandrasekhar, Minister Mittal, Chairman Abani, Chairman Mittal, Chairman Birla, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to stand with you here today, with you, Honorable Prime Minister, to open the 2024 World Telecommunication Standardization Assembly and India Mobile Congress in a joint ceremony. I think this is a powerful symbol of the deep ties between the ITU and India. Ties that were at the heart of our meaningful conversation last year when I had the great pleasure to inaugurate, together with the Honorable Prime Minister, the ITU Area Office and Innovation Center. Since then, it's been an incredible year for digital. As digital innovation in AI and other emerging technologies continues unabated, world leaders came together just a few weeks ago in New York and adopted the Pact of the Future and its Global Digital Compact. They sent a powerful message to the world that our future is digital and we can and we must write it together. On that historic occasion, the Honorable Prime Minister, you stressed the need for global digital governance, and you made India's ambition very clear to lead by example and to share its digital public infrastructure with the entire world. DPI was a big priority during India's G20 presidency, where ITU had the pleasure to be a knowledge partner. The world has a lot to learn from what India has accomplished with the Unified Payments Interface, Aadhaar, and other building blocks of today's digital economy. Standards are the engine that powers these platforms to operate at scale, giving every Indian with a mobile device access to life-changing services. And that's why we're all here today. Because we know that standards build trust. Trust nurtures inclusion, and inclusion can unlock the full potential of digital and emerging technologies for everyone, everywhere, including the third of humanity that's still offline. Honorable Prime Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this global gathering, the first of its kind in Asia, calls for bold, collective action. In the next 10 days, we can, and I firmly believe we can strengthen the role of international standards as the bedrock of global digital governance. One of our most urgent tasks is ensuring that AI is developed responsibly and as a force for good. As we work to drive progress in this decade and beyond, let's ensure that standards help to level the playing field for innovation. Let's align technological progress with digital inclusion. And ladies and gentlemen, together, let's write a digital future that is more connected, that's secure, that's responsible, and that is sustainable for all. Thank you, and Dhanyawad. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bogdan Martin. May I now request the Honorable Prime Minister of India to please launch the World Telecommunication Standardization Assembly 2024 by unveiling a digital plaque. Please be seated, sir.
From the land where the ethos of Atithi Devo Bhava, the guest is God, guides our spirit of global unity, India proudly welcomes you to the heart of its capital, New Delhi, for the ITU World Telecommunication Standardization Assembly 2024. Since its inception in 1865, the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, has been at the forefront of global telecommunications, driving innovation and fostering worldwide connectivity. India, proudly joining in 1869, has been a vital partner in this journey. Last year marked a significant milestone in this journey.
भारत में टेक्नोलॉजी सिर्फ मोड ऑफ पावर नहीं है, बल्कि मिशन टू एम्पावर है.
With the ITU area office opening in New Delhi, as a specialized agency of the United Nations, ITU continues to be a driving force in the digital era, bringing together 194 member countries and over 900 sectors and academia members. Every 4 years, the World Telecommunication Standardization Assembly, WTSA, sets global telecom standards and shapes the future of telecommunications worldwide. And for the first time in the history of Asia-Pacific region, this prestigious assembly comes to India as the future of telecommunications is here. The telecom journey towards Vikasit Bharat has seen a dramatic transformation driven by the government of India. With over 1.2 billion subscribers and 900 million internet users, the country now has the world's second largest telecom network. BharatNet initiative has ensured nationwide digital inclusion. India's 5G rollout is among the fastest globally, with more than 100 5G labs enabling innovations in sectors like healthcare, digital payments, agriculture, and education. Median mobile download speeds skyrocketed while prices dropped. As the third largest startup ecosystem, India is enabling ecosystem for innovations in emerging tech like 6G, AI, quantum, fintech, and cyber security. Through the initiatives of the government, India is bridging the